Welcome back to Cultivation Corner. How's everybody doing? Today, I'm actually going to be here with Steven and Janeé, and my name is Richie. It is going to be a special holiday episode today where we're going to be talking about plants that make great gifts and just Christmas in general. So I just wanted to kick it off and just say I hope everybody has had a wonderful holiday so far. I know that Thanksgiving has already left and gone, and there's just a lot of shopping that we do for these holiday plants. So I am just really excited to kind of ask y'all some questions. And I know we have our plants. We're looking really festive here.
Trying.
I mean, we're trying.
This
I really
is the best
hope...
I can do.
Is it really? Look at my little reindeer ears. Shout out to Target. We'll say about that. But so Janeé, I just wanted to kick off this holiday episode with I guess just starting off with the wants and need plants. Let's go ahead and just jump into it.
Diving into it.
Get that out the way. Well, what better way to do it with the plants that we have at the table?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
So Steve, tell me, so I'm personally not familiar or knowing of begonias. They are beautiful.
Yeah.
But this one, can you tell me a little bit about it?
No.
Or
I know, absolutely.
Or why it would be a good gift?
I know. You know why this would be a good gift? Look, I'm going strictly for the vanity of it. So
I don't blame you.
Look, it's red. Okay,
it's red.
So
okay, so
that's what matters,
right?
That's what matters.
It's really giving poinsettia or something like that, a little bit like a poinsettia vibe or whatever. But this one, I can't even pronounce this name, you guys. It's a Breva Ramosa.
We'll call her Mimosa.
Mimosa. All right. Sort of with a splash of raspberry.
So is that a want or a need, as in you need it today?
So you know what? So this isn't even a want or a need for me, believe it or not, because I just.
That's a new element.
So
indifferent?
Yeah.
Indifferent?
Because I'm not a fan of begonias.
Okay.
But I would definitely give this away.
Okay.
Give it to me.
Give it to me.
Like if somebody gave me this as a gift, this would be my regifting.
Oh my goodness. Regifters in the house.
I know not to give you a begonia then.
Yeah, don't give me a begonia.
Okay, well at least I learned something new today. Cool.
Honestly, all plants, they do belong outside, but begonias to me, I look at it and I see more of an outdoor plant versus a house plant.
I agree.
If that makes sense.
I mean, look, it reminds me of the whole coleus type
thing.
That's true.
I love
especially
coleus.
with the stems.
Yep, caladium type vibe a little bit. But definitely coleus is giving coleus to me, and I like to see coleus outside. That's just me. So same deal with the begonia.
The begonias, okay.
Yeah. What else we got on this table that we can say is a want or a need?
Well, here's a beautiful. This is Aglaonema red Siam. So
what do I need, Janeé?
I would usually say a need, but I may or may not already have like 3 of these at home.
But what's another Aglaonema in your collection?
I mean, for the queen of Aglaonemas right here.
You are the queen of Aglaonemas.
Like, how many Aglaonemas is too many?
It's never too many.
But it is gorgeous.
Really
that shouldn't even be a question.
I mean, honestly, I could have one in my media room.
How about that?
It's a need.
It's a need.
It's a need.
You need that.
Definitely a great.
You need that today.
Today.
I'm so serious. It is the holiday season, and we're ready to splurge on some plants. We're gonna go ahead.
And it's only $14, y'all. At Pita's Planters.
Right. That's the thing. We're at Pita's Planters today in Dallas, Texas, off of Garland Road, and I'm telling you, the pricing at Pita's is fantastic.
Yeah, so it really is. Honestly,
what is that? A $14 red Siam? Come on,
$14 for this beautiful plant.
Where can you find a red Siam that size with that sort of health?
And it has babies on it, so it's easily propagated. You can buy it and actually gift it to two friends.
You have 3 plants there, right?
Sharing is caring, as I always say with plants. So, All
right, so what else we have here?
Well, I have this Aglaonema.
Okay.
Very red.
There you go.
So, it's very red for the holiday season.
Yes, indeed.
Very pretty too.
And we talk about plant pricing at Pita's. This is only $15 in a self-watering planter.
Priced very well.
And the self-watering planter, so you get the planter as well.
Yes, for $15.
That's amazing.
$15.
That's amazing.
This is going to be a need. That's a need.
Are you going to get that
today? Yes.
Okay.
even though I already bought one of these from Pita, I mean, you can't help look,
It's gorgeous.
Look at this, okay? Hit the like button if you agree this is gorgeous, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and if it's a need or a want, put it down in the comments. What do you
Yeah.
think? Do you want that or do you need it? Richie seems to need it.
I need all Aglaonema, and I
Definitely
mean,
need.
I'm just glad that I'm part of Cultivation Corner. I feel like we all have this common denominator, which is Aglaonemas.
Yes.
Yeah.
We all love Aglaonemas. You know, I have a
It's
little
stunning.
gifty for you later with some presents. We'll take a look at that later. But yeah, this is definitely a need.
Okay.
It's definitely a need.
So I have one of those. I actually, let me tell you, I know you have a lot of aglaonemas. I'm sure you
Just
have
a
very
little bit,
red.
a lot.
A
You know,
little bit,
a little bit, a lot.
Okay, I like that. The very red, I have one that actually just now sprouted out 2 new leaves.
Oh,
That's very
okay.
good.
Here's the thing. I finally figured out so my very red, you know, I name all my plants. It's Nia Crooks. I'm not sure.
Nia Crooks.
Nia Crooks. I'm not
Okay.
sure if you guys are familiar with like the first 1 or 2 seasons of Basketball Wives, but Nia Crooks was someone who I wish became a regular on Basketball Wives just for the drama that she was able to have. But anyway, aside from that, my very red is Nia Crooks, and I finally got her. Like when you have a plant for such a long time, you start to learn exactly what they need and what they don't need, and I finally got Nia's watering schedule down, where she belongs in terms of pushing out the best sort of bright red leaves without even having to try, because she will revert back to all green if you don't give her enough light.
Yes.
So that's one of those things that you have to keep into consideration when you buy plants with color, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Plants with color and, Aglaonemas, you can't beat Aglaonemas.
so beautiful.
It's really good for the holiday season. I think they make better plants for the holiday season as compared to a poinsettia. No shade on poinsettias. I think they're pretty, but you need one that's going to last you.
Yes, that will
past
last
the
you a long
holiday
time.
season.
But here's the
So-
thing with poinsettias too, at least in my experience with poinsettias. I mean, not to put you out there on blast, Mom, right?
Uh-oh.
But here's the thing.
But really-
Mom used to get poinsettias for the holidays all the time. And then when the holidays were over, stopped taking care of the poinsettia, and then it actually went to plant heaven. So sorry, Mom, I didn't mean to put you on blast, okay? But here's the thing. If I was to gift you something like an Aglaonema Very Red, that's going to give off a different vibe of
That's
a
true.
house plant rather
Yeah.
than something that you get for the holidays.
And you'll tend to
and
take care of it more. Continue to take care of it and nourish it. more.
Yes.
I mean, that's just my opinion. What
Yeah.
do you think?
No, I agree. I've killed so many poinsettias. And it's
you?
true. After the holidays,
Oh
like,
my
okay,
goodness.
you were cute for the time being,
Right,
but
right.
You were good for the 3 or 4 weeks
Right.
that
Okay.
you existed,
Right.
but you gotta think
Bye.
those poinsettias.
They're plants.
They're
so
plants
they
that are supposed
Yeah.
to live long term.
long term.
Exactly.
That's right.
I actually told myself I'm going to try again this
I'm
year.
going to try again this year.
with the poinsettia.
But I'm looking for the variegated pink ones. Those are
Oh, those are
super
gorgeous.
cute.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're on the hunt for that.
I'm hunting for that. I did some hunting yesterday and failed, but I'm always in a big box store.
Well, I went to a big box store yesterday for the first time looking for plants specifically.
What was the plant?
It was any plant that was healthy in
Oh
a big
my
box
gosh.
store. And
That's
that was
sad.
and that was really, really hard to find at this one particular big box store that I went to, but they had a ton of poinsettias.
Yes.
Okay, because now, as you know, that's their stock. Like they're trying to stock up on poinsettias, and they actually have some really, really interesting sort of combinations. Like they had the base of the poinsettia as a pothos.
Yeah, I saw
you
something like that
Interesting.
too.
I never seen that.
Yeah.
And then I also saw a bunch of like
Wow.
English ivy
And
as
I
well.
saw English
and I'm
ivy
just
there as a base as
what is-
well.
I'm like, what is going on with the poinsettia, English ivy, and pothos?
I don't know how I
Right.
feel about that.
I don't know how I feel about that either. I'm confused.
I think
don't
I
know,
like
but
it.
English ivy poinsettia combination reminds me of pests to come. So
No, it is. You're
Right.
inviting
exactly.
spider mites galore,
Yeah.
but if you like it, I love it. We'll just figure it out, right?
Hey, no judgment on this side. of the
I
table,
couldn't do it.
Okay.
So I did want to ask Janeé, to start out some of the topic about this holiday season, Christmas season. What plants make good gifts, or at least great gifts for the holiday season? And that's something as far as gifting, what if it's somebody that doesn't know about plants or has never grown plants? Like, is this
That's
a way to
true.
lure them into the plant world and get them addicted like us? Like, what is this?
Aside from the plants that we have on this table from Lupita's Planters,
Woo!
aside from those, if I were to give someone their first plant for like Christmas, honestly, I would piggyback off of our previous episode where we talked about overlooked plants, and I would say like pothos, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm in my pothos
basic,
era.
but they're gorgeous, and there's so many different varieties. I mean, you get the golden, the marble, the snow queen. Yeah, I would probably do that because they're very forgiving too if you under or overwater. So
Yep.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
if, and like Steve was telling us, his friend was, watering the plant more frequently, but if you do that with the pothos, they will forgive you. It'll start limping and letting you know, like, hey, stop. But
We're
I
going to
mean,
have to slow down
it's
before
giving.
my roots start
Yeah.
to really rot. But
Yeah.
And that's a way. I mean, I think we always talk about reading the room with your plants too, and certain, I guess, personalities of plants let you know when enough is enough.
Yeah.
Or I'm not getting enough. And and a pothos is a great example of that. So it may be one of those plants that you can give as a gift to a plant person or a prospective plant person who is afraid of doing that overwatering, underwater, and maybe not scare them away so easy by giving them a begonia.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't do that for a first time.
well, and especially that particular begonia,
Yeah.
I can't even grow that begonia.
What's the deal with this one?
Because it just needs a lot of humidity.
Yeah.
Certain begonias, they come from very humid climates.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like you said, again, a lot of them need to be outdoors. But, that's another topic about that.
Sure.
But I would say for a good house plant for the holidays, I'm trying to think of something outside of the box, but it always goes back to these overlooked, underrated plants, like a spider plant. It's got a really good little texture, and then if it matures, it has little babies, and then you can share it. And, I always think when it comes to plants, sharing is caring, and when you can share a piece of your plant with somebody else and continue to do that kind of gift giving, it's really fun. And spider plant, it's an inexpensive plant. You can definitely find them at a big box store. So I don't know what big box store you were at. We're not going to put out the name or the location because all my big box stores I go to.
Well, I must.
It's fabulous. You need to go further up north.
I was
in
about to
Dallas.
say, maybe
Let's
I need
take
to go further north.
I-75
Because-
and make yourself a
Enroll.
little field trip.
I was within 635, so
I mean, 6:30. Yeah, it's okay.
Well, okay, so I'm going to ask you all's opinion on this because I was thinking about a Hoya carnosa.
Carnosa, yeah.
I think that might be like a really, really good first-timers plant.
Yes.
A buddy of mine actually got a Hoya carnosa as, I think, one of his first plants, and I think
about Hoyas.
the Hoya's name is Oscar, believe it or not.
Oscar.
Yeah. And look, with my friends, I'm getting them into the habit of naming their plants.
I love it.
But the Hoya carnosa was a plant that did not give him that much issue to begin with. You know what I mean? And I think that's, when you look at a holiday type plant, a Hoya carnosa does have that sort of holiday vibe to it too, and color because it has the light green, the red sometimes, and the dark green. So it does have those holiday colors as well.
I agree.
And they are giving too. My Hoya, poor baby. She lets me go don't do as I do, but she lets me go maybe 3 weeks or so.
Yeah.
And she's good. She's alive. So yeah, they're very giving.
Yeah.
They are very giving and forgiving because I haven't watered my Hoya carnosa for a month, and her leaves, you could do the taco method where if you can fold the leaf and it becomes a taco, that means you need to go ahead and water that Hoya. It's almost at that point where it's 911. Not yet. Not yet. But that Hoya, when it starts to really be 911, that's when they start dropping their leaves.
Yeah.
that's really bad.
Yeah.
That's true.
We don't want to do bad things on the holidays, so we need to
No.
water our Hoyas.
Please
that's
water
what we
your
need to do
Hoyas.
that, so
Well, let me ask you guys this, right? So we're talking about gift-giving plants, right? And this is all well and fine. The red siam, the very red, to present the plant like that. But is there anything that you do to make the plant look extra special when you give the gift to the person?
Yeah, I would say Richie.
I'm gonna do a little personal plug, but I
Sure.
definitely use my DIY product called the folding mist. I think if you spray some type of leaf shine on the plant, clean it up, and just give it that nice shine on the leaves. Any leaf shine, I think that just gives it a more presentable look. I think it's just a little bit more of an extra touch to the plant. But leaf shine,
I agree.
I love leaf shine. As
Oh
a
my
matter of
gosh,
fact,
yes.
yeah. My first plants, the plant owner, the store manager of the plant shop will always spray my plants down with.
I think I know who you're talking
You know
about.
what I'm talking about.
It's
With-
Garrett.
It's Garrett.
And,
What's up,
Plant
bro?
Keeper. Shout out to Garrett
Hey,
at Plant
Garrett.
Keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will always leaf shine my leaves every single time I bought a plant there. And when I got it home,
It just looks great.
It looked
Yeah.
fantastic. And one of the things about leaf shine is that, when you talk about, plants getting light and photosynthesizing and everything like that, a layer of dust can actually prevent that from being efficient and optimal. So,
Yes.
again, you're helping the new plant parent out with something that the plant does naturally, but you can aid it with cleaning the leaves off and getting all the dust off the leaves.
And pest prevention as well, too.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah, pest prevention, because it's not going to light that extra layer of just whatever is on the leaf shine.
Yeah.
So,
Quick thing. So, and this has come up with a lot of the people who, I know who aren't plant parents yet, but we're talking about maybe turning them into a plant parent for Christmas.
Yep.
Their main concern is pests.
Yes.
Are pests.
fungus
right?
Yeah.
gnats.
Fungus, gnats, fungus.
Yeah.
I mean, the main pushback that I get, here's a begonia, well, not a begonia, here's a red siam friend of mine. Oh, well, Steve, I don't want things flying around my house, okay?
heard that
Yes.
a
What
lot,
is
too.
one of your ways to sort of debunk that myth of your house being filled with flies?
I had someone tell me that, like, Janeé, I want to get into plants, but I don't want the bugs. And I just told him, honestly, you just have to be realistic. Plants, they do belong outdoors, but even if wherever you get it from, like, there's always a potential for it to happen. However, like we said about the leaf cleaning, not only does it make it look good, but also helps pest prevention. And there's other things that you can do to, like, stay on top of it. Like, you can't go into collecting plants and not expect to not have any pests. That's just reality.
Sure.
So I would just tell a person, like, you just need to be realistic with this first.
Yeah.
What do you think, Richie?
I think so too, and I just think I do a lot of big box store plant hunting, at this point, and I always tell people, if you're going to go buy plants, you really need to make sure, number one, you're getting a plant that's healthy. So
Yeah.
you want to look at the plant, look at the undersides of the leaves. You want to look at the soil. You want to make sure that you're not seeing anything fuzzy. That could be
Yeah.
mealy bugs. If you see anything webby, that's spider mite. So number one, start out with a plant that doesn't have any visible pest.
Yeah.
And then number two, if you're going to get a plant, say if I'm going to gift this like very red aglaonema, I think I'm just going to gift it to myself. I already told you it's a need.
know you're gonna do that.
$15. But I would even look at the soil.
Yeah.
And I would use like an insecticidal soap and spray the top of the soil surface. And I would even take the bottom of the drainage holes and even spray it.
Yeah.
Just because then you're at least covering those bases. Now,
Yeah.
whether there are any pest eggs further down, that's something for the, it's like a little surprise for a gift. But that's really all you can do. Because, to piggyback what you said, Janeé, if you're growing plants, you're going to get pests. Even if you stay on top of the
Yes.
plant pest, the plant pest control, you're always going to end up having some type of pest. So,
Well, you know what? I think to both of your points, it's one of those situations where, yes, pests will come. I did a segment with the top 10 things that I've learned since being a plant pet parent. And one of the numbers was pests are inevitable, right? Like, you're
Yes.
going to experience that,
Yes.
to some degree. But not only are they inevitable, but they are manageable, okay, with the proper care. And typically sometimes the infestation of pests means something's not right with the environment that the plants are in, okay? So case in point, when I first started out, I never forget this, and my parents came down, and I was so embarrassed. It was during the holidays, and so it was winter time. I had a really, really bad fungus gnat problem. And you know me, listen, y'all know me, y'all know by now I enjoy my glass of wine, and for some reason, fungus gnats are attracted to the scent.
That's your fungus gnat, your fungus gnat trap.
Yeah, I know, but I want
to Google search that and you will find that.
I want to drink the wine. I don't want the gnats to drink the wine.
No gnat wine.
The gnat can get, a little tipsy too. It's fine. It's the holidays.
Well, he gets a little tipsy and he's unaware of his, libido. Okay, and might procreate even more. Nah, but in all seriousness, it was one of those situations where I actually had to let all my plants dry out because, again, I was a first-time plant parent. I was overwatering the plant, and that was the plants that I had, and that was what's wrong with my environment. It was that the plants were just overwatered. That one gnat or two gnats that said, "Oh my gosh, let's do it! It's so moist here."
They had a party in there.
They had a party in there, and
little rave party.
100 more to follow.
They multiply quick.
Within the first couple of days. So, once I let the plants dry out, I had the fans running and everything, and I just stopped watering. And then it became more manageable. My parents were there, and I felt bad. But
did they say anything about it?
Of course they did. Of course they did.
You probably got gaslit. It's fine. We all do.
Of course they did. And they were so cool about it. You know what I mean? But, the next time that they, showed up, I figured it out. It became manageable. And they weren't flying everywhere. You might see one or two every once in a while, but it's not enough to have a whole damn gnat party.
Well, as far as so we talk about plant pests. My question for y'all is, so obviously we have plants for different people.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just ask you this, Janeé. What if you are going to give a plant to somebody that is already actively plant collecting? What do you decide on the plant? Let's say somebody that is more of a rare collector or something of that. What plant would you give? Ooh. And when I mention rare, I know that's a little bit of a trigger word because that means it might be a little bit expensive, and sometimes we don't have that kind of money. If you do, let us know on Plant Cultivation Corner because we have our want type plants.
Yeah.
But no,
and my
just let me
birthday's
know.
coming up, so
as far as how do you decide? How do you gift a plant to a plant lover, somebody that's already actively collecting plants?
That's a good question. I would fall back to my friend Ruth. Her collection went from 0 to now, I don't know, probably over 20. And
just 20?
But that's not bad for
But it's been within a year though.
Yeah, that's
and it's
not bad within a year.
Okay.
It's growing. So I don't know. I fall back to that, and I would do like you said, the rare plant, maybe not only because of the price. And if I gave it to a person they killed, I would be sad. That's actually a good question. I'm looking at the plants now and I'm trying to think which one I would do.
Something that's universal, or I feel like that somebody can put in their collection even though they have a rare collection, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I would dare to say maybe an alocasia.
Oh, for real?
Or do you think that would be bad?
No, but see, what we're talking about is someone who already has a plant collection established.
They're already established, so they know what to do.
That would be actually a really, really good idea. Because here's the thing, even though alocasias don't tend to agree with what I'm giving, someone may be able to figure it out who already has a plant collection established. So it might be a good tester to see where they're at with their knowledge about plants and again, I guess their environment plays a big part in allocations as well and taking care of one.
That makes sense because she has beautiful, healthy, thriving Marantas, the green and the red.
Oh, well, there you
and
go.
I've killed that so many times.
But she can grow them?
She can grow them. So that's a good point.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because we have friends that we try to grow certain plants that are finicky, and then you have
And then
friends
they
that
can
are
do it
kind of
just
nonchalant.
effortlessly. Yeah.
Like I have a friend, Isaac. If y'all saw his video on my channel, I'm like, how are you taking all of my about to go to heaven plants?
No, exactly.
And they look better than when I cared them, and I feel like I know my plant care tips.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, he's able to grow an English ivy, and it doesn't have these spider mites.
Wow.
He has alocasias. He's got an alocasia
He has the
poly.
magic touch then.
Either the magic touch or
he has a
something.
poly.
He has a poly, an alocasia poly, no spider mites. He doesn't
killed
really
that so
water it,
fast.
and it's
So
in
did
like
I.
I don't know. It mind boggles me
Yeah.
about how certain people are nonchalantly able to grow
Yeah.
plants. But that's a good vibe as far. I mean, alocasia
Yeah.
for a rare plant.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You know what? So I may gift myself a rare plant, and I saw one here at Pita's. As a matter of fact, it's the variegated Jose Bueno.
Yeah.
Talking to you about it, Richie, is
I thought you were gonna get the variegated Pachira aquatica. She's got a good price too, or is it?
no. Well, okay,
Or is that for your
so
birthday?
that's for my birthday. We're
Okay.
talking about what I'm
Okay.
going to come home with
Today?
Right.
Go ahead and get yourself the Jose Bueno.
But I saw the Jose Bueno, and I was just like, that's a really, really nice variegated plant.
Yep.
You know,
And it's easy.
And
Yeah,
that's the
it is.
thing. It's an easy variegated plant because some variegated plants are not as easy as the I hate to use this word, but the basic plant that it comes from. You know, in terms of lighting conditions.
Yeah.
They might need a little bit more extra light to push out that high variegation.
Yeah.
And to maintain it. But when you told me, Richie, that the Jose Bueno was easy to take care of,
It really is.
I don't
promise
mind
y'all.
spending a couple of bucks to not kill a plant today.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, I don't know. As far as this holiday season, do you guys have any plans for the holiday season, or just what you want to do with your plants, your family? Anything else we want to just kind of mention to our viewers today?
Yeah, listen, I'm a New Yorker, and I live here in Dallas, Texas now, so I will be heading back home to see my family in both New York City and in Rochester, New York. And I can't wait for that because it's just always so good to be home. And, for those of you who haven't been to New York City in the holiday season, it is a magical place.
Yes.
Like it's one of those places where, and Janeé, I think, your mom's from New York,
Yeah.
so she can speak to this. It's so, you have Rockefeller Center, you have Bryant Park, you have,
We should have a Cultivation Corner field trip to
I
New York City.
listen, let me
That
tell
would
you
be
something.
fine. Go ahead.
When-
You got my plane ticket, though.
But here's the thing. Listen, I'm telling y'all, speaking it into existence, okay? We will be able to take Cultivation Corner on a traveling road show.
That would be awesome.
I really think that would be, too.
And then make one of the stops Christmas in New York because
Yep.
it
I would
is
love.
amazing just to see exactly what New York gives during the holiday
Mm-hmm.
season. And believe it or not, New Yorkers, we're not mean people. Okay, I kind of think that we're actually nice because we can help you out with directions to get to where you want to get to. When you need to get to it, just, make it quick. Just get it the first time. But anyway, New Yorkers are even nicer
Yeah.
during the holiday season.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just a magical place to be. What about y'all?
That'd be awesome. I will be spending it with my family and, of course, dressing my dogs up in their Santa hats and, stuff like that. The
right.
usual.
The usual. Well, my Christmas is going to be spent within my cure. It's it's going to be super busy. Actually, a lot of my Christmas actually is spent after Christmas with my family. It's kind of been like that for almost a decade now. But yeah, that's really what I'm going to do for the holidays. Really try to bring joy and just make everybody excited. I know that today's episode about just plants that we're gifting, to kind of wrap it up and sum it up a little bit. If you're going to give somebody a plant, especially somebody that is new to plants, just make sure you stay to the basics. Stay to the plant that's not going to be really expensive either, because you don't want to be out of money if somebody ends up sending it to plant heaven. You can't be mad at the person that you're gifting that plant to.
That's true.
And giving it a personal touch. We talked about like leaf shine, possibly maybe even repotting it in like a really nice planter, something of that nature. And then even in the card, I would even say writing the care conditions or just little tips that you can do. for the plant. But I do believe, and I think you guys would agree, that plants are a good way to start somebody off into a plant journey. You know, we want to make sure that we're growing this community beyond just
definitely.
us. And the holidays is a really good way to segue into that. So,
It is.
it's been a really exciting journey so far for the Cultivation Corner. I mean, I can't believe that you guys have been watching our episodes, and hopefully you guys are going to still stay engaged because we've got a lot of topics to talk
So
about.
much.
We got a lot to talk about.
So
Okay, gloves are off.
they're definitely off. And
In the
then,
next episode.
as far as what you would say, I will ask the viewers that have watched our podcast today, leave in the comments and let us know what plants you would potentially gift to somebody. We really want to see that engagement, really want to hear what your thoughts are. It's really important for us, especially as our community grows. And, as far as myself, Janeé, and Steven, super thankful and happy holidays. We are
Cultivation
Corner. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.